welcome. This is In Tune Deep Tarot. I'm going to be doing an all signs reading for the full moon. Happy super full moon in Capricorn. And I'm going to be doing a reading today on the full moon. And usually during full moons, it's about what we need to release. So every time I use this particular deck, it's usually me trying to tap into our spirit guides, into our ancestors, to see what it is we need to release. Things like bad habits and inconsistency and things like that usually need to go during full moon. And then we usually manifest and pray, set goals and intentions for new moon. Trying to get messages for all signs on what to release. I appreciate it if you like, share, subscribe, and comment, and hit the notification bell. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all of my views. Thank you for taking out the time to watch with me today. I already got some. Messages for what to release during this super full buck moon. It's supposed to be a bigger moon than normal. When the moon is closer to Earth, it's going to appear bigger. It's going to be happening on July 13th, wherever you are. Ooh, and guess what? The moon card actually came out. The full moon card. Look at that. Let's get a couple more. Bottom of the deck we have 5 of coins, if you can see that, and that's an energy of kind of a victimhood mentality. Definitely something that a lot of us need to release. We are not victims, we are victors, and whatever happens to us happens for us, right? So the first card that came out today was the Father of Knives. I think a lot of us are coming off as very cold, very bitter, aging ourselves and wasting time on cold, dark energy. And usually things that come from this type of energy is from past and prior experiences. I know we all have bumps and bruises from what we've been through, but it's not something that we need to carry. What is the advice on releasing this energy? Be more loving, be more nurturing. When you feel like I could just turn cold and, screw the world, FTW, I think we need to actually in turn do the opposite. Be more nurturing, be more giving, and give into lighter energies. This here is about walking away. So maybe a lot of us, or some of us, we have this guy on this card who's just walking away from responsibility. Maybe some of us give up too easily in situations where we should try a little harder. This guy seems to be walking away from feelings, walking away from his job, work, home, something like that in this card. And he's seemingly not caring, but we all know anger and this nonchalant kind of attitude is usually a bit more underlying energy, and he probably does really care, but instead he's walking away from it. Let's see what the advice is on this. When you walk away from things like that, you will get a redirection. Some of us are walking away from things that we shouldn't, and we will get a redirection from the divine, because ultimately it's causing a lot of conflict in our lives. And it's probably a test that we are facing and something that we need to conquer. Walking away and leaving things unfulfilled or too fast is self-sabotage at its finest. The next card we have is a two of baskets. Some of us actually, unfortunately, may be releasing partnerships, be it in business, romantic partnerships, friendships, family relationships, things like that. They may have gotten to a point where you're at a crossroads for whatever reason. Things might have been good in the past, but you never know if they are anymore. What is the advice on this? Take things slow. Think things through. Before you make any decision about anything, you should weigh your pros and cons and figure out if this is the right thing to do. Sometimes we're all at crossroads, but even during full moon phases, a lot of us get anxious in that energy. So before we act, maybe we need to do some thinking and grounding and figure out what it is we would like to do. Eight of Coins. The Eight of Coins talks about working on things. Work on things and be passionate about them. Don't just work just to work and be in robotic mode. A lot of us need to walk away from that 9 to 5 kind of energy. Not saying that 9 to 5 is bad, but I'm just coming here to do whatever my job is and then I'm going to leave. Sometimes we need to put a little more passion into it. And if it's something that we're not passionate about, maybe we need a redirection. Maybe we need to figure out what our 9 of Cups is. Our 9 of Cups is our wish fulfillment. What are the things that we really want to do? What are the things we are passionate about? And do we need to align ourselves with that energy so that we can gain our wish fulfillment, our 9 of Cups? 9 is associated with putting your wishes and prayers up to God and taking that leap of faith, like the Fool. And we have a card that indicates fear, greed, change. Let's see what the advice is on this one. That one came flying out. Temperance. This can also be about greed. And temperance is about balancing everything out. This Mrs. Robinson card right here, Robinson card, is actually associated with the Devil card in the traditional tarot deck. And this talks about fear. It talks about greed. Anything that's just over the top and gratuitous and too much. Fear. All the things that we really want to release and that aren't really the good things. Sometimes they lure us in. Lust, greed, money, or overindulgence in things that, not that money is evil, but sometimes being greedy about certain things like that can kind of send you over the top. But this Temperance card is asking us to make sure that we're always in balance and we ground ourselves. See how this card is 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in the water. One cup is pouring into another. Life is all about balance. We can't get too bogged down on one side of something more than the other. And here's the next card that came out, which is the Moon card, which is associated with Pa. And this talks about secrets and hiding emotions and secret emotions. Maybe some of us are hiding our emotions and we need to come forth about how we truly feel about some things and stop hiding. And coming off as, this came out in reverse. I don't read reversals, but when it comes out in reverse, I keep it that way. Maybe stop acting nonchalant. Maybe stop acting like we're bored and actually reveal some of our true feelings. Because it can be very, very helpful. Even if you have to sit and think about how your approach may be, resting on that major thought that's probably key to solving a lot of problems in our life. We may need to speak up about it. Rest on it, think about it, but definitely we need to come forth with some of the things that we hide beneath the surface. The next card in what needs to be released is maybe a little too overindulgence in partying, maybe too much going out, too much drinking, too much work, not enough play, or vice versa, too much play, not enough work. And we have this card clarifying it all, which seems to be you have to get a grip. You have to gain some sort of stability of some sort. Otherwise, it's going to lead to much anxiety and much worry if we're not balanced. This is another card that speaks of balance. And this is talking about juggling, another. So the running theme of probably more than 50% of the cards that came up today is about trying to balance. This person may be trying to balance too much, too heavy things on a unicycle with a big wave or a mountain in the back that looks like it's avalanching. What is the advice for people who are going through a lot? Move forward, but equal yourself out. Don't be so impulsive. And ask for help where it is needed. I'm also going to pull a spirit animal. I feel compelled to do a spirit animal. Oops. Actually, let me clear this stuff off first. Running theme seems to be we need to figure out the balances in our life and gain some perspective on what it is we really want to do and start working toward that. I think that's very important. And write it down too. They say things are much more powerful when you write it down versus just kind of thinking it in your head. It's just something about putting things on paper that kind of makes it all real. All right, let's get a spirit animal. The Fox card, which is Earth energy, and we also have the Fish. I'm going to read those from the book. Fox. Smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us to stay true to those dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. When in balance, magical, ingenious teacher, monogamous. When out of balance, sneaky, unsure of that identity. To bring into balance, partnership and connection. So with all the balance that we were speaking of, I'm thinking that some of us may be drifting away from our loved ones and maybe, partnerships, close relationships, romantic relationships. If that is the case, we need to work more balance into that. Maybe a little less work, a little more quality time, or vice versa. Maybe we're spending too much with this, but it almost seems like some of us aren't connecting too much with our love life and home life enough. And the next one we have is the Fish, which is water energy. And here we go. The Fish card. Restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. The Fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement. Movement and more movement. The roaming freestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. Wow, this is also talking about relationships. It's crazy how these two came out. With all the possibilities where they're in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. I just said that. I just said maybe we needed to write it down. Everything comes full circle. Spend some time with the lunar forces. Wow. And we just on a full moon too. I'm still so blown away how messages just coincide and resonate, and just the synchronicity of it all. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. Maybe some of us need to spend a lot of time under the moon if you can, if wherever you are. Spend time under the moonlight tomorrow if you can, or sit and look at it out of the window and just kind of soak in some of that energy. The moon can definitely be healing. It states when in balance, adaptable, travels well. When out of balance, distracted, changes mind often. To bring into balance, set a goal and accomplish. So, this reading really came full circle with talking about being in balance, talking about grounding yourself, talking about balancing in relationships and spending time with the moon. That's just right on time for us during this full moon, and it's a super moon too, which means that it's going to be really, really big in the sky when it rises. Check your moon rise time in your area, town, or time zone, and I really urge you to watch the moon rise if you can. I appreciate your time. Please press like. Let me know in the comment section if it resonated. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and if you feel inclined to donate, my information is in the description box, and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Bye.